journey, if you will. Just before I start, some of this, what I'm going to talk about is sensitive, but I appreciate some of you may be a little close to home, but I will share with you my story. So, again, I'll talk in if anybody would like to speak to me afterwards, or privately, by all means do. So thank you for your time today. I just wanted to share a bit of my story. I'm going to go directly from the notes. I know we're going off tangent. Not because it's easy to talk about, because conversations like this really matter, especially during Mental Health Week. In June 2004, I lost my brother suddenly. That was part of quite a loss of period of loss in my life. Family members and even my dog, it all built up over the years. I've already been dealing with anxiety and depression, and linked to losing my parents earlier in life. But like so many people, I carried on, working, coping, and just getting through, like I know many of you all do too. What I've learned is that grief doesn't disappear. It builds, and eventually it can become overwhelming. After my brother passed, I reached a point where I realized something had to change. Not just for me, but my family too. It wasn't fair on them. I couldn't keep pushing it aside. So I went to my GP, but like many people experience, counselling support wasn't immediately available. Medication that was readily provided, I'm not too sorry to say, took the edge off, but it didn't fix the problem. And most of the important things I've learned in life from that time is this: family and friends care deeply, but they're not trained to help you through complex grief. You have to go and find it for yourself. So I decided to actively seek help. Through Marie Curie, I was able to access counselling, and it genuinely changed everything. It wasn't about quick fixes. It was about understanding, practical advice, and learning how to move forward. Help is also available through our own employee assistance program and teams here in Marston. I know there'll be a slide on that very shortly, which you can have a look at and take the details now. So through Marie Curie, through the counsel I was able to access, genuinely changed everything. It wasn't about quick fixes, as I mentioned. It was about understanding the practical advice. And again, some of the biggest lessons I took from it was simple but powerful. It's okay to say no. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a breath, stand back, say no, understand, move forward. You can't be everything to everyone. You're just as good as who you can be in the moment. And I think this is something Luke touched upon earlier on. Sometimes good is good enough. You know, we're all perfectionists, I think in our own lives. And it's okay to take care of yourself first. I hate the analogy, but it's such a good one. I'm going to go off piece here a little bit. I hear the Malcolm in the Middle revival even joked about it recently in their show. But they said, you know, the whole thing about if the oxygen mask falls from the aircraft, do you put it in yourself first, put it on somebody else, put it in yourself first? So it has become a cliche, but it's so true. You have to take care of yourself first before you can look at others and people you work with, etc., especially applies to your job. But I found strength in simple things like walking. One of the things, ever since I was a kid, I used to walk for miles, and I've tapped into that once again in my later life. Getting outside and away from screens, giving myself space to think, it gave me focus and helped me rebuild. So much so, this has become a habit for life, and I'm fundraising for walking with Marie Curie. I did 12 miles last year, and I'm in for 21 miles this September. So your hope will be greatly appreciated. There is a Just Give link, of course, and socials and all that stuff, but by all means get in touch with me. So since then and all this, I've spoken very openly about my mental health, because there is a stigma and there really shouldn't be. We all go through challenges, some visible, some not. Everyone in this room has, at some time of their life, even if once in their life, has had severe situations, complex grief like this, and we just have to figure it out somehow. But in workplaces like ours, it's very easy to keep things to ourselves. But the reality is talking helps. Support matters. And asking for help is strength, not a weakness. Talking today helps me, and continues to help me. I know there are people out there who don't talk, and perhaps not ready to do so, afraid of what the repercussions will be. I can say through personal experience that the cost of not talking vastly outweighs taking the time to talk to somebody. I've already spoken to people from all walks of life, from bikers to business people, who've all said they need support. I was honoured in February to deliver a speech at the Senate on this very topic, and from there, they've actually asked me to do additional speeches down the line. I'll be able to do that. So I'm here today in a much stronger place, not because everything's perfect, far from it. It is not. You know, we all have tough lives, we all do tough work, we all have to get on with things and do our day-to-day work, do our lives. We have families, we have friends, we have commitments. But again, it's just making sure you talk to people. The one thing I would say to anyone listening today is this: if you're struggling, please don't wait. Speak to somebody, reach out and take the first step. For God's sake, please do that. Don't keep it in. You know, talk to somebody, because you don't have to go through it alone. And if you're not okay, and if you are okay, I should say, take the time to keep an eye on people around you. Be the person that you talk to, non-judgmentally. Not to provide counselling. I mean, you're not trained for that. You know, I've since gone through counselling training and I've actually taken the steps to try and understand how to help people more. But the general public are not counsellors. But ask questions, listen, be interested, and then through Marston, through the support we provide, through any number of organisations available out there, guide them to get the help they need. And you can help me too by fundraising for Marie Curie. Let's get that plug in. As I mentioned, completed the 12-mile walk last September through the Gold Coast, and I'm doing 21 miles this September. That's September the 5th. Your moral and financial help will certainly be welcome. Thank you to all of you who have already generously donated. It's very, very much appreciated. I've hit the 200 mark, and I've got 1,000 to get. So please do 800 to get as quickly as possible. And I'm happy to share my Just Giving link with anybody who'd like to see it and be able to help me. And again, if you don't want to listen, you can have the link anyway. It's up to you if you don't know. But I just want to say, like I said, I'm personally here to help. Again, you're probably thinking, wow, is he standing there telling about all this person's stuff? But like I say, I'm happy to do it because I know it helps people. And I hope it's helped you today. So, thank you very much indeed.